Have you ever had a season where you didn't feel good enough, confused, questioning your direction, wondering what God is actually calling you to do with your life? And it's not because you stopped loving God or because you've gave up. You just couldn't clearly see. If that's you, you're not alone. This episode is your reminder. In Matthew chapter 23, verses 11, Jesus communicating with his team of disciples, the men that are around him, he gives unto them this perspective. They came to him with questions. They came to him trying to figure out who was the greatest amongst 12 that were with him at the time. Jesus' response, I believe, gives unto us a very clean picture of what greatness really is. He says unto them in Matthew 23, verses 11, he says, "But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant." He was using this picture to be able to give unto us, I believe, a grand example. And this is the example that he shows in this statement. His greatness is not just reaching the high pinnacle. Greatness is the ability to be able to serve. Yes, you might be strong, you might be wise, you might have all of this education, you might have all of these finances, but those things doesn't make you great. I believe Martin Luther King helps in this echo where he makes this statement, not everybody can be famous, but everybody can be great because greatness is determined by service. I believe because Jesus redefined this context of what greatness is, even in this day of time that he's communicating to this group of people, I believe because he redefined it then, he gives unto us a picture of what that is now. So if he redefined what success looks like, what greatness looks like, then I think we need to be able to lean into what this thought process is for us. I believe that greatness is the ability to be able to serve well. But the question always for me is, how does the individual need to be prepared to be able to walk in their greatness? I remember getting ready or in a season of transition. I would use that phrase. I was in a season of transition, which we'll talk about some more in this next episode. But I was in a season of transition, and in this moment, I was trying to see what my next steps were. What was God doing to me next? And in that moment, in that in between, if you've been following me for any point of time, you've heard me make this statement that in that wilderness experience, that in between moment is where I believe that God starts to be able to train us and develop us and sharpen us. And in that moment, God started to speak to me about me. Now, let's give some context. I have already at this point of time in my life have done 12 plus years of ministry. I was a youth leader, youth pastor for about 12 years at this point. I am a father at this point of two. I've been working at a job where I've now elevated to a couple different positions, and I've been doing different things. And what I recognized is I was functioning in all of these areas, but one of the things that I started to see in this conversation, in this dialogue that God was having with me, is I was doing all of these things, but didn't recognize that greatness was within me. I was still dealing with, am I good enough? I was still struggling with the context of my internals. I was still trying to get this success ladder and make sure that I was hitting all of these quotas and these pieces. In those moments of doing all of these things, I never got to the point to where I was at this place of where he started to speak to me about greatness. Hiram, the ability to be able to serve well. That's where you're great. It's not how you can communicate certain things. It's not how great you can lead organizations. It's not how great in reference to the visions that you can be able to put together. It's not only those things. That is not what makes you great. Those are the results of you being great. You internally, inside here. But if you're focusing on, because I'm doing all of these things, I'm doing it because I need the money, and I'm doing it because I'm trying to please this person, and I'm doing it because I want to make this thing, I want to look this way, I want to be this place. You're doing the work, but not recognizing how great you really are. Because greatness is within. It's the ability to be able to serve well. And the person that serves has to recognize that it's you. Yes, millions of people can do millions of things, but millions of people can't do it like you, because greatness is within you. It's a part of your DNA. It's a part of who you are. So this relaunch, I believe, was vitally important, because I think and I feel and I believe that I had to go through a season of reset. I had to go through a season where I had to refocus my greatness. I had to refocus who I was. I had to refocus some things and really get rid of some things, which we're going to talk about in this year. But the understanding of it is I had to be able to be good with me. This is why I believe we started off with this context of, hey, it's time to speak up. Not because we're trying to be arrogant. No, it's time for your greatness to shine. The way that we do this is we recognize it's already in here. This is something that's already been in here. You know, we look at context of scripture or people in scripture. Like, for example, we can use Jeremiah, for example. And while we're looking at Jeremiah, we normally use or hear these phrases of scripture where it talks about, I knew you before, you was in your mother's womb, and I ordained you to be a prophet to the nations. And then you hear later on this dialogue that Jeremiah is having with God, and he's saying, listen, who am I? Like, I'm nobody. I'm not even important enough for you to be able to even choose someone like me to even do something what you're saying. And God says, listen, don't put yourself in a bracket that I didn't put you in. I created you and I formed you and I made you the way that I designed you, because I designed you with greatness within you. The only responsibility now that you have is to focus on in here, focus on you, serving and developing you, so that what you produce out of you is looked at as great. But greatness is already in you. I don't have to work to get it. I was born great. You might not have figured it out, but I've recognized I'm born with greatness within me. My now responsibility is to be able to give what I have in me and serve you. But I'm not serving in a space where I'm trying to do it to please you. I'm doing it because this is who I am. Greatness is the ability to be able to be humbled enough to lift someone else up. I recognize the skill and the mindset and the way that I look at life and the way I look at things and the way I look at scripture. I look at all of these things, the places that God has allowed me to be able to sit in, and the conversations that I've been able to have, and the men that I've been able to interact with. I see all of these pieces, but if I have all of this wisdom and I do all of these things and I keep it all to myself, I'm not functioning in my greatness. This is why sometimes life can be frustrating. Sometimes it's frustrating not because life externally is going on. Sometimes the reason why it's frustrating is because internally I'm not speaking out and producing and walking in my greatness, because I'm waiting for someone else to tell me I'm good enough, because I'm waiting for someone else to tell me they approve of that. I'm waiting for something else to be able to say you can be who you are supposed to be. No, I am, according to Genesis chapter 1, verses 26. I was created in the image of God and in the likeness of him. And then in verse 28, he tells me that I'm supposed to be fruitful and to multiply. I'm supposed to produce what he placed in me so it can grow. This is my greatness. But I'm supposed to use my wisdom, my skill set, my love, my strength. I'm supposed to develop it within me so I can be able to use to serve you. We look at someone like a Martin Luther King. Why would he use and say a quote like he did? The reason why is because look at what he did. He served others. He was serving in the season that he was in. And that way of serving, because he developed himself, because he served himself first, sharpening his skill, getting his education, making sure that he was refining his craft, enlarging his way of thinking, placing himself in the position where he can be able to help and assist those that could not speak. He was able to speak. This was your way of serving. So yes, he can stand up and say, listen, everybody might not be famous. Famous in the aspect, you might not be on the big screen. You might not be sitting there and going viral on social media. But just because you're not famous does not mean you're not great, because greatness is service. Is how are you serving? How are you serving as a father? How are you serving as a friend? How are you serving as a son? How are you serving as a coworker? How are you serving as a man? How are you serving as a believer? The reason why God gave and pushed me into the context of Hiram, it's time for men to speak up, is because you have this power within you, this greatness that sits within you, that the enemy has allowed shame. He's allowed your pain. He's allowed your past. He's allowed some people where they feel like they're not good enough. He's allowed your identity crisis. He's allowed all of those things to be able to keep you from walking fully in your greatness. But I want you to know, if you don't hear anything else from me from tonight, if you don't understand anything else from me for the rest of the year, I want you to be very, very clear when it comes to this conversation tonight. And this is what I need you to be clear on. No matter what the enemy is trying to do, the reason why the enemy is pushing and doing the things that he's trying to do is because he recognizes and understands. If you ever walk in your greatness, if you ever recognize your greatness within you, if you ever start putting value systems and standards and things around your greatness, if you stop letting everything and everyone treat you the way that they want to treat you, because you don't recognize your greatness. If you stop allowing people that don't understand you to keep you in a box and walk in your greatness, if you stop allowing those things to happen, walk fully in who you're supposed to be, you will see how your life and the lives of those that you are called to serve will change. Because I truly believe that the purpose of how God designed this was he placed greatness in every single person with the concept and mindset that everybody is going to need everybody. There's not going to be a group of people or a sector of individuals where they do not need the assistance from somebody. We're supposed to do this thing called life together. So I need the greatness that's within you, just like you need the greatness that's within me, just like your brother needs the greatness that's within both of us, just like your father. He needs the greatness that's in all of us. Why? Because this is how God designed it. We look at, for example, the 12 tribes of Israel, 12 tribes of Israel, this broken group of individuals that are broken up in 12 different sectors. But here's the thing that I love about this picture. Some that are warriors, some that are farmers, some that are businessmen, some that are over here doing this. You have all of these different groups of individuals that are supporting the collective. Why? Because everybody has greatness within their tribe, and their tribe helps everybody to develop to get to the place that they need to get to. Because why? Everybody has their greatness and they're bringing it to the table. We are workers together. We're doing this thing together. If we're going to break out, we're going to break out together. There shouldn't be a man by himself walking through this journey that does not recognize that he has greatness already sitting within him. So let this call of conversation this morning, as you're starting your day, let this be your call this morning. Let this be your wake up. Let this be that momentum that you need. I need you to walk in your full greatness. When you go to work, I need you to walk in your greatness. When you're walking up to your friends, to your family, to your children, to your wife, I need you to do it with all of the greatness that's within you. I need you to look yourself in the mirror before you walk out the door. I need you to look yourself in the mirror and say, I have greatness within me. I need you while you're in your car and you're driving to work. I need you to look into that rearview mirror and say, listen, you should have stopped me while I was back there, because now I'm walking and going forward with my greatness. I'm not going to allow money, problems, people, or pain to stop me from walking fully in my greatness. I'm going to do whatever the work I need to do so I can develop whatever I need to develop to walk fully in this greatness that I have. Because I was designed to walk in greatness. I wasn't designed to be here. I wasn't designed to be in lack. I wasn't designed to be struggling. I wasn't designed to have to have a low mindset about myself. I was not designed for that. I was designed to walk in greatness. This is what we were designed to do. Jesus says, listen, I didn't come here to be a king. I came here to serve. And look at the impact the one that served made. He is the example of what this is supposed to look like. And the only thing we see him doing is serving. He took years to develop him, grow himself. He took time to work on him, greatness. And then you see him serving, healing people, serving, preaching the gospel, serving, communicating here, serving, getting demons out this folks, serving, making sure folks' taxes is paid, serving, washing people's feet. He's serving, raising the dead, serving, all the way to getting on a cross and dying, serving, raising from the dead, serving, releasing instruction, serving, developing a group of young individuals, serving, walking fully in his greatness. And this is why God is saying to us, again, one, you have greatness already within you. But two, and this is just as important, but you're not supposed to do this thing alone at all. I hope and I know this, I hope this encourages you. I hope this gives you, as some people would say, the battery that you need in your bag. And I hope every Tuesday at 5 a.m., when you log on and listen in, that this pushes you to not give up on your greatness. Don't give up on you. I know it's hard, but don't give up on you. And this is why I believe it's important for us to have a community, because sometimes we can't see it, which we're going to talk about this. I promise we will. Sometimes we can't see it in ourselves. And we need a tribe of people around us that can encourage us, that can be accountable to us, that can push us to walk in the greatness that we're supposed to do. Because again, we're not supposed to do this alone. So listen, this is what I need you to do for me. If this has encouraged you, if this has helped you, if this has pushed you this morning, I need you to do me a favor. I want you to share this. Share this with one brother. I don't care if it's your cousin. I don't care if it's your best friend. I don't care if it's your dad. I don't care if it's your uncle. I don't care if it's a coworker. Share this with one brother that you know needs to be encouraged, so that they can also start walking in their greatness. Here's the other thing that I need you to do for me, because again, we're not supposed to do this alone. I have, for some time, being honest with you, been nervous and scared to kind of jump out and create a tribe, not just through the podcast, but a tribe of men that we come together. We communicate with each other. We keep each other accountable, but we have real dialogue, safe, secure conversations, and we grow together. So this year I pushed myself, because I have to walk in my greatness just like I'm pushing you to. I have to serve those that God will connect with me. So I went ahead and started a school. Now, let me be clear for those that are listening to this, SKOOL. A school account. All right. This is going to be a way that us as a community, the Greatness Tribe, can come together and build together. If you are interested in being a part of this tribe, we're going to have real conversations. I'm going to have some devotional times that we can do together. We're going to have some development pieces that we're going to build together. And we're doing this together. It's not one-sided. It's all together. We're going to create a community that we can entrust in, that's safe for us. So if you're interested in doing that, the information and the link is going to be in the show notes. And you can be able to just hit that link, connect with us, connect with the Greatness Tribe, so that we can be able to grow together. Thank you so much for listening to me this morning, or whenever you chose to listen to it. So I ask you to do me a favor. Stay focused, stay faithful, and walk in your greatness.